Hi, everyone, and thanks very much for offering the space to share the project. I'm Lucy. I'm a marine biologist and environmental educator, and have been working in the space for about 15 years. Myself and Emma graduated together way back when. So great to see lots of familiar faces. And I normally would be talking about Sea Synergy Marine Awareness and Activity Centre, which I founded in Ireland, and work on the Marine Explorers Education Programme with many of you. But today I'm going to be talking about the Ocean Race and the learning programme that we developed for them. So the Ocean Race is a round the world sailing race, and it lasts for about 9 months. It runs every 3 to 4 years, and it's thought to be the pinnacle of offshore racing. So in 2017, I was able to get a role as an environmental educator with them and developed their learning program, which has won awards now and is being used around the world. So yeah, there we go. Sorry. So we developed a program called Champions for the Sea, and we used our race mascot, which is a Laysan albatross, pictured here, in the program to bring around emotional learning and so that kids could relate to this bird and saving the bird's home. So she's featured widely throughout the program. And we've developed a number of resources for teachers, which are all downloadable online, which range from the first 2 topics around the ocean literacy principles. And then we dive a bit deeper into plastic pollution and how we can help stop plastic pollution, as well as then diving into circular economy in my positive footprint, and also science and sailing, and how we can be citizen scientists, because that's what some of our sailors are doing out on the water. They're actually taking samples and measuring scientific data, and which is actually providing the science community with relevant data. So relating back to Explore Your Shore and National Biodiversity Centre and citizen science. But we have a range of resources from worksheets and teachers' guides, and they're all around social emotional learning. Also, we have a mindfulness practice, because we're very aware of eco-anxiety now. And then also trying to create empathy for different communities, and how people use the water and the ocean differently. The program is available in 8 languages, so from Spanish, Portuguese, French, English, Dutch, Danish, and Chinese as well. So yeah, it's widely used, and on our website, learning.theoceanrace.com, you can see where it's actually being used around the world. It's being used now currently in 54 different countries by over 180,000 students over the course of the time since we started the program. So once the race starts again in 2023, January 2023, we'll be pushing it out a lot more, and hopefully we'll see those numbers rise a lot more. And I suppose we've all been working in environmental education for quite a while now, but having the opportunity to use another type of platform than the regular education platform has been huge, and it really can embrace a different community, not just sailors, but because there's 2.5 million fans of the sailing race. I think it's the second biggest fan base to FIFA. It's embracing a lot more of the community, so we can reach a lot more people with ocean literacy by using these alternative platforms and sporting platforms, which is really great. So we do have a program called On Course, which is for teachers and adults who want to work in the community around ocean literacy. So it'll just introduces them to our program and how they can actually run our resources and program in their community, whether that be in their school or in a community group or youth club as well. So we've started them this year, and we've had 10 of them in a range of different languages, with a number of teachers and community members as well, which is great. And what's coming next? As I said, the race starts in January 2023. We're developing a secondary school program to align with the start of the race. So that'll be for 12 to 16-year-olds. And that we're hoping to develop that with Time Magazine in a magazine-style booklet. And we'll also have a teacher's project guide, which will help people or the students learn about their place in their community, and how it relates to the ocean, and even if they're inland, how they're also related to the ocean and what they can do to help protect it. And I think, that's most of what I want to say, really. I suppose with the secondary school program, we have been engaging with youth already in a co-creation. So we're finding out how they want to learn about the ocean and what they want to learn about the ocean before we actually dive into the creation of content. So that's it, really. Just a quick overview. But yeah, if you're interested, learning.theoceanrace.com, all the resources are there available to download, and you can contact us as well. So thanks very much for the time.
Thank you, Lucy. Thanks, William, for presenting. And I think Shabelle had a question for you in the chat. So if you want to, you can follow up with her afterwards through the chat. I might get you to stop share, if that's okay. Thank you. And I'll remove the spotlight. Apologies as well. I forgot to spotlight you at the start of your talk. So poor William was spotlighted for ages. God love him. I think our last speaker of the day then is Garry. Garry, apologies. I know we've kept you a bit late. You're sharing your screen, and I'll just find you now and spotlight you. Okay, and I'll start the timer.
So, hello everybody. Yeah, thanks very much for staying on. And I'd just like to share the story of the Transatlantic ROV Project. So this was a project initiated by Catherine Mercer last year, and the whole goal really was just to share the ideas, develop working ROVs to explore the ocean. So I suppose in my role in the aquarium, I be responsible for a lot of the marketing and content creation, but also we kind of responsible for the Wild Atlantaquaria champion and local experts. So when we talk about Galway Bay, the Salt Hill Prom is a very popular tourist spot, but you can't really show what lies underneath the sea. We know there's a lot of beauty under, but we can't really show it. So the ROV really was to, I suppose, get citizen science involved in ocean observation and just to see what we could find in the ocean. So unfortunately, we didn't find so much litter in the sea, which we're very thankful for, but we did find lots of litter in our river basin. And I suppose after I shared some of the images of these small perch swimming in the Friars River, there was a call to the council to do a cleanup of the river. So some of the outcomes of the project, we're all exploring the goal to reach 2030 and to help protect more of the ocean than we're protecting at the moment, at least 30%. And in the mission Starfish and others, they're all talking about this. We deserve a healthy and a clean ocean. So they're not mutually exclusive, because you can say, oh, sure, the ocean's clean, but that doesn't matter if it's not healthy. So in developing how we talk about ocean literacy, we have to use these terms like, we need a clean and healthy ocean, and we need the ocean to depend on our lives. So clean coasts would always tell us, don't show pictures of the litter, because when people see too much litter, they think it's insurmountable, that they can't defeat it, So what this shows really is that the ocean is really beautiful and it really needs to be protected. There's beautiful colors, greens. It's like a whole new world that's just literally below the surface where people can't see. And you can see there we're so close to the shore. So it's just within our feet. There's a whole Garden of Eden right below us, and it needs to be protected. So in that journey, we talked about how to develop the ROVs with our crew in Washington on Discord. And we came up with all these different ideas about using recycled materials to build the boat. So the first ROV was really a conglomerate of plastic piping, tubing, wire, all leftover science projects. And I was so proud. There was a little bit of a race on because the students from Washington were already floating and testing their devices. Catherine shared this lovely picture. The bottom picture is the children from the Taloa tribelands. And unfortunately, after that picture was taken, their ancestral home had to be moved. So I know we talked about in the previous talks, they're all talk about how do we get communities working together, and really we have to start about equality and access, you know, this simple message of equality for all, that everyone's voice is heard. So it's just the young people really enjoyed going down to the pier, working their model and throwing it in the water. When I first threw my model in, it sank, and I was so disappointed because I'd spent so many hours design. I'm an artist, you see, so to me it was a work of art, but it wasn't a functional engineering piece. So I shared the image on Twitter, and it wasn't for me and Noreen reflected on this yesterday, that it was Alan Berry from the Marine Institute and SmartBear. Like, he's so helpful. But he said, Gary, look, there's no such thing as a failed experiment, and just an unexpected outcome. And that kind of gave me the goal to redesign my ROV. So I actually went back to the basics, and I went back to wind power. I couldn't do the engineering side. So look, I built a model boat, and here is just some of the images that I found, and they're all updated to the Explorer Shore as well. But when we talk about our participation and enjoyment of the ocean, I'd just like to share, I think, what I found. I was just down with the ROV, and I just seen this little shoal just making the way up. And so for me, the whole project was really just about the enjoyment of just being part of the ocean, going down the ocean, throwing in my boat. It was a lovely experience. I thought I have an animation here. Well, I've lost the animation. So I had an animation. It was literally like pulling a kite across the water. So it didn't really matter if I captured any fish or anything. It was just to be in the ocean, to have this little ROV that was pulling itself along with the wind, and it was sailing all over the Galway Bay. And because I had 27 meters of rope, I was able to throw it anywhere. So I threw it into rivers and Galway Bay, and I got so much footage. I got over 60 gigabits of data. So, and I can share the links of the dedicated YouTube channel where you can find all the footage. Thanks for your time, guys. I hope I didn't run over.
No, you're spot on.
I didn't.
You're spot on. Well done, Gary. Thank you very much. And it's beautiful footage and beautiful imagery. So if you share the link in YouTube.